This is spEarz to the streets. spEarz to the streets. spEarz to the streets. spEarz to the streets. This is spEarz to the streets. spEarz to the streets. This is spEarz to the streets. Get down to the beat, or get beat down in the street.
Hey, Charlotte Flair. I didn't know what Ruka's recent lose streak was about, but after reviewing ZaRuca's tag match for the title against Flair and Bliss on SD number 1365, I now know where it started. And I believe that Flair injured the rookie Ruka on purpose for radical, racialized reasons. This title match was a showcase of how good ZaRuca's chemistry was, which was surprising, given that on NXT they usually only show up supporting each other in singles matches on the sidelines. Alexa Bliss was pinataed around by ZaRuca, mostly in a losing David and Goliath type effort. This was caused through the cockiness of Flair, who early on was visibly not adamant on getting upstaged by the decorated double champion in the match, who with guile and wile performed a one-armed handstand to wiggle out of Flair's arm drag early on. Bliss suffered greatly for the majority of the match just because Flair tried to save face at the top of the bout. ZaRuca may have stumbled going up the ropes a bit, but those backwards bear hugs on the top of the turnbuckle solidified the dominance the rookie had over Bliss, if countering the way too early, cocky Sister Abigail attempt didn't already deliver that message. Ruka had that amazing faceplant spot on Bliss and used her height and speed advantage to deliver a shot at Flair in between running interference to prevent Bliss from tagging in. Eventually, the speed champ was too fast and ran through the ropes trying to stop Bliss from tagging in Flair, allowing Flair to enter and get to work on the upstart tag team delivering tandem chops on both members of ZaRuca. A surprise soul snatcher wasn't enough to keep Flair down, and a combination of Blake Monroe's antagonizing at fourth rope and Ruka's greenness as she recovered from a splash attempt that missed its mark allowed for Flair to soften Ruka's knee up outside the ring, injuring the double champ from behind, only to deliver a figure four, evolved into a figure eight to punctuate a win over ZaRuca, forcing the double champ to tap. This chain of events carried over well after this match, as Ruka nursed her knee after the bell, only to cancel her participation in Halloween Havoc against Blake Monroe, foolishly electing ZaRuca to fight in her stead, who lost the North American title to Monroe. Only days later, Ruka relinquished her speed championship, kicking off a new women's speed tournament, and some more tension between herself and ZaRuca, who did not let her disappointment go unnoticed that Ruka didn't elect her to lose another title for her. I can't help but think about Ruka's choice of ring gear at this title match the night of her injury. Zebra print. Flair was determined to embarrass Ruka, but I think it went deeper than decoration, given how fast Ruka was ascending with gold, threatening Flair's title history. I have reason to believe that because Ruka could pass as a beach blonde when she is actually a black woman is why Flair and Monroe seemed to be more like tag partners that night than Alexa Bliss and Flair ever were. Flair taunted Ruka with the crock chop and was fuming whenever Ruka got the advantage over Bliss far more than whenever ZaRuca was punishing her tag title partner. Why else would Ruka have worn that zebra print other than as a statement against the blatant nepotism and white supremacy that Charlotte Flair represents? I believe Ruka used her ring gear in this title match to symbolically show that despite the comparisons between her and Flair, that the DNA between the two NXT alumni is a world of difference, and Flair got the memo and made her pay for it, costing Ruka not only the tag title, but with a domino effect that cost the upstart all her titles, with an injury that has benched her indefinitely. Ruka was the only black woman in the ring that night. Who else would point that out? ZaRuca? Yeah, right. So Flair strikes again, minutes away from Silicon Valley, an area that would highly support everything Flair stands for, especially getting on over on yet another black woman, who given the tell of the tape could easily surpass Flair's shoehorned accolades off skill alone. This could have been just a good showcase of an up-and-coming tag team or a surprise win with a woman on a title hunter run exclusive to WWE's promotions to rival the best member of the Four Horsewomen. But no, leave it to the worst of the Horsewomen to do an underhanded maneuver and rob the WWE Universe of the continued rise of a talented rookie. Forget Hogan. Sadly, ZaRuca has become yet another victim of Flair booking, one of the coldest depictions of white supremacy in women's wrestling today.
This is Spears to the streets. Spears to the streets. Spears to the streets. Spears to the streets. Spears. This is Spears to the streets. Spears to the streets. Spears to the streets. To the streets. Spears to the spears. Spears to the streets. Spears to the. This is Spears to the streets. Get down to the beat or get beat down in the street.